Good day elsewhere, and welcome back. I am so grateful that we are learning together on the traditional, ancestral, and unceded territory of the Palal, Chilkowiak, and Samath peoples. Let's get started. Thank you again to the author Stephanie Kunar for her book, Backpack to Briefcase, A Student's Guide to a Meaningful Career Journey, that uses the Japanese Ikigai framework, which guides us to a future that reflects our reason for being and our sense of purpose. In previous lessons, we looked at discovering what you love, what you are good at, and you may also recall identifying your value words. Knowing what you value will inform you as we delve into exploring the next circle on the Ikigai framework, what the world needs. Today, you will be learning about great initiatives in our community that impact one sustainable development goal, ending hunger. This will lead us to the 5 Ps of the SDGs, and you'll figure out what this means in the lesson.
We love the SDGs. We love the SDGs. And in poverty and hunger, living healthy lives, education and equality go side by side. We love the SDGs. We love the SDGs. Taking care of all the life in the ocean and land, clean energy and water, they go hand in hand. We love the SDGs. We love the SDGs. And economy.
And the United Nations 17 Sustainable Development Goals. You will consider themes in the Sustainable Development Goals that you would most like to address through your career choices, and consider world issues that you are drawn towards solving that could be part of turning what you love, what you're good at, and what the world needs into a career that becomes your life's work or into service through your work. What the world needs can be explored in so many different ways. Like Bill Gates said, we need people who will be activists, take on the big inequities. It will be one of the great experiences of your lives. Finding work with a company or organization whose ethics, practice, and social impact aligns with your values can result in greater happiness at work, especially if it also reflects something you love and something you are good at. Many businesses are social entrepreneurs who help to solve social, environmental, or cultural issues through funds generated by their business. They support organizations that are working to solve challenges while providing their employees more meaningful work. So while someone's exact job may not be their dream job, the extras they are involved with through their work can add meaning to what they do. So these social entrepreneurs act on needs in the community to help less advantaged members here in our town. Chilliwack has many great companies that offer these kind of partnerships. Chilliwack's Starfish Pack program, for example, works towards solving hunger in our community. During the school year, backpacks full of food for the weekend are sent home with students on Fridays. Look at all of the community partners that support this program. While a job at Superstore may or may not be your dream job, if you value service and love helping others, being able to work with a program like Starfish Packs through your job can definitely add meaning to your work. When considering your future, you can find out about a company's values and social entrepreneurship through their website. You may be surprised at how much some of our businesses contribute. I am just going to show a few examples of the many businesses that help to support the community good in Chilliwack. Metric Civil is a civil construction company, and they support many needs in our community, including right here in our school, where they help with school supplies and our soup program at lunch. Jerry Ann's Contracting, Chilliwack Ford, Restorative Justice, Murray Honda. Our communities are better when companies support initiatives that serve needs, and this creates more meaning in the workplace for those people that work there. A survey of 160,000 post-secondary students indicated that their most important career goal is to feel that I am serving a cause or greater good. So how do we start to uncover what is going to be a meaningful purpose, and how does this relate to your career and what the world needs? There are many issues the world is facing. The good news is that increased activism shows that people are willing to do something about it. Each of us connects to different issues. You may be concerned about the environment or poverty, or you would like to promote more justice, equity, diversity, and inclusion. In 2016, the United Nations adopted 17 Sustainable Development Goals. We can hone in on these goals by first considering the 5 categories that the goals fall under, the 5 Ps of the SDGs, Sustainable Development Goals. These 5 Ps can help people understand why the goals are important and how we will all benefit from addressing each goal by 2030. Which of the 5 Ps reflects potential future directions for you? Take a look at the categories. The first category is people. For people, we are determined to end poverty and hunger in all their forms and dimensions, and to ensure that all human beings can fulfill their potential in dignity and equality and in a healthy environment. Which brings us to the second category, planet. We are determined to protect the planet from degradation, including through sustainable consumption and production, sustainable management of natural resources, and by taking urgent action on climate change so the planet can support the needs of present and future generations. Prosperity. We want to ensure that all human beings can enjoy prosperous and fulfilling lives, and that economic, social, and technological progress occurs in harmony with nature. The fourth category is peace. The Sustainable Development Goals under the category of peace want to foster peaceful, just, and inclusive societies which are free from fear and violence. There can be no sustainable development without peace, and no peace without sustainable development. And the final category that some of the 17 goals fall under is partnership. A global partnership based on a spirit of global solidarity, focused on particular needs of the poorest and most vulnerable, and with participation of all the countries, all the stakeholders, and all people. So if achieved, the 5 Ps, the 5 categories of the Sustainable Development Goals will benefit people around the globe. Consider the 5 Ps. In a second, you're going to be talking to a partner about which of the categories most resonate with you. If you could choose a career based on these categories, which would you lean towards? Pause the video to discuss this now. This brings us to the 17 Sustainable Development Goals. To explore these, first, we need to know what sustainable means. Sustainable development meets the needs of the present, that's us right now, without compromising the ability of future generations to meet their own needs. It requires profoundly different thought processes and actions. The 17 Sustainable Development Goals came into effect following a historic United Nations summit. 193 governments from around the world agreed to implement the goals within their own countries in order to achieve the 2030 Agenda for Sustainable Development. From 2016 to 2030, these goals are mobilizing efforts to end all forms of poverty, fight inequalities, and tackle climate change while ensuring that no one is left behind. As you learn about the goals, again, ask yourself, are there any goals you wish to be part of solving? Do you see a pattern in the types of challenges you wish to tackle? So what are these goals? As you watch this video, you will notice some of the goals that can develop into a career based around what the world needs. And hopefully you will notice the 5 Ps reflected in them. Let's watch it now.
We can be.
We must be the first generation
to end extreme poverty.
The generation
Most determined
to fight injustice
and inequalities.
The generation that saves the planet from climate change.
And this is how it will get done.
The global goals
a 15-year plan
for everyone, everywhere.
with no one left behind.
We will live in a world
where nobody
anywhere lives in extreme poverty.
Where no one
goes hungry.
Where no one
wakes in the morning
asking if there will be food today.
We will live in a world where no child has to die of
Diseases we know how to cure.
and where proper health care
is a lifelong right for us all.
We will live in a world where
everyone
goes to school.
and education gives us the knowledge
and skills
for a fulfilling life.
We will live in a world where all girls and all women have equal opportunities to thrive
And be powerful
and safe.
we cannot succeed if half the world is headed back.
we will live in a world
Where all people can get clean water
and proper toilets
At home,
at school.
and at work.
We will live in a world where there is sustainable energy for everyone.
Heat, light,
and power for the whole planet.
Without destroying the planet.
We'll live in a world where economies prosper.
And new wealth.
Lead to decent jobs
For everyone.
and we will live in a world where our industry,
our infrastructure, and our
Best innovations.
Are not just used to make money, but to make all our lives better.
We will live in a world
Where prejudices and extremes of inequality
Are defeated.
inside our countries,
And they train different countries.
where people live in cities and communities
that are safe, progressive,
and support everyone who lives there.
where we replace
What we consume.
Planet where we put back what we take out of the earth.
We live in a world that is decisively rolling back from
climate change.
where we restore and protect the life in our oceans and seas.
will restore and protect
Life on land.
The forests.
Animals.
the earth itself.
with peace between and inside countries.
Where all governments are open.
And answer to us for what they do at home and abroad.
And the justice rules.
With everyone equal before the law.
Where all countries and we their people.
Work together.
Partnerships of all kinds.
To make these goals a reality.
These are the United Nations global goals.
For sustainable development.
Let's get to work.
So these 17 development goals have a lot more detail in the actual document and targets and breakdown of tasks to achieve them. But we're just doing an overview here in this class. So how does this relate to you and your career education? Well, where will you be in 2030? By 2030, you might be in a post-secondary school program or in the workforce in a job or career that may even reflect these goals. You can be, and already are, a catalyst for change for the better. Many of the jobs of the present and jobs of the future that don't even exist yet will relate to these goals, either directly or indirectly. As the former Secretary General of the United Nations said, saving our planet, lifting people out of poverty, advancing economic growth, these are one and the same fight. We must connect the dots between climate change, water scarcity, energy shortages, global health, food security, and women's empowerment. Solutions to one problem must be solutions for all. You and your peers will play a role in this. That brings us to your task today. On your handout, you will be looking at some of these concepts. You will consider the 5 Ps and check the categories that are of interest to you. You will select the United Nations Sustainable Development Goals that resonate with you. And you will reflect, what themes do you see in the world issues you're drawn to solving? Considering the challenges we're facing in the world today based on the 17 United Nations Sustainable Development Goals, list the ones you would most like to address, and beside each one, explain why you chose this goal. So I really want you to zero in on just 2 to 4 goals. What careers are you currently aware of that may reflect the themes from the 5 Ps and the 17 SDGs that you are drawn to? The assessment is the usual 4-point scale here. So if you want to get a 3, you're proficient fully meeting, then you will show complete understanding, you will complete the whole assignment, and you'll be mostly independent on it, and give a solid answer to each item. To extend or exceed in your reflection questions, you are really going to show sophisticated understanding, exceptional detail, thought, and insights. Before we end this lesson, let's watch this video and notice some of the goals that you could develop into a career based around what the world needs.
The United Nations is an organization with goals of peace and sustainable development around the world. Their mission is huge, but we're breaking it down in 2 minutes. 17 sustainable development goals. Let's get to them, cause the more you know. Look, in some corners of the world today, people are living on $1 a day. Hey, that's not how it ought to be. So goal 1, eliminate poverty. And goal 2, root out hunger across the globe. There's 800 million people hungry if you want to know. Number 3 is health and well-being, and getting people the health care that they need in. Learning in school are the hard to go for. Education opens up minds and doors. Goal number 5 is empower girls and women so they can have the same rights that men are given.
Number 6, people need water that's clean. Poor sanitation can spread disease. Carbon-free energy is goal number 7. And how to achieve it is a question that's pressing. But if we put our minds together and work hard, we can find a solution, I'm guessing. 17 sustainable development goals to improve life all around the globe. Protecting human health and the environment. Whatever bed we make, we gon' have to lie in it. 17 sustainable development goals to improve life all around the globe. Protecting human health and the environment. Whatever bed we make, we gon' have to lie in it. Now imagine that you work all day for no pay. Economic growth and decent work is goal 8. Goal number 9 is to foster innovation in infrastructure and industrialization. Goal number 10, inequality reduction. 11 is sustainable city construction. 12, well, that's sustainable consumption. So what we use matches up with production. Goal 13 calls for urgent action to combat climate change, cause we know it's happening. 14, protect life under seas. 15, protect life on land. Goal 16 is for peace and justice all over the planet. They're in high demand. And the final goal, number 17, is the critical factor, the heart of the machine. It's the strength in the way we achieve these goals of sustainable development around the globe. Yo, 17 sustainable development goals to improve life all around the globe. Protecting human health and the environment. Whatever bed we make, we gon' have to lie in it. 17 sustainable development goals to improve life all around the globe. Protecting human health and the environment. Whatever bed we make, we gon' have to lie in it.
That's it for this week. Be sure to hand in your assignment. And remember, if you ever take it home with you, you can take a picture of your work and send it to your teacher in Teams. See you next time.
And a lot less greed. We love the SDGs. We love the SDGs. Now we have to come together, living justice and peace.